Now look, man, what is going on? What is going on with this man, bro? Nasty C is starving people music, bro. This man is doing everything else there is to do in the world except dropping some music. Or maybe let me just say a project, a full-length project. I mean, it's been a while now. And the crazy part is he's been making so many promises. I mean, at least if he was quiet about it, man, it wouldn't be torture. This man has been promising music since last year, promising 3 projects, two mixtapes, 1 album. And this year he promised a mixtape and an album, and then he postponed the album to next year. Now this man finally postponed the mixtape also to September. But before I get into it and just analyze the video, so Nasty C recently came out to, as he does these days, stream and game, and answer a couple of people that ask him questions regarding whatever he's going through right now in his life, and obviously the music, the most important part. And basically he came out to answer that, man. But before I get into whatever I'm about to analyze right now, please let's listen to this video, man. Let's play this video real quick.
When we game 1 to win, very soon. I'm not gonna do the whole drop one song and then make you win type shit. Hey, I don't have a date yet, mid-September though, for sure. Spring team. See, it's not really gotta stop this thing of giving false dates. The thing is, these dates are not false, right? Anytime I tell you guys, oh, it's coming at this month or that month, this month, I'm not lying to you. I would have just lied to you. I would have just, ignored your question type thing. What happens is, most of the time, we'll pick that month and be like, all right, middle, or towards the end of that month, or the beginning of that month. And it shouldn't change. Like right now, I'm still having to substitute some songs and shit because some producers are just super hard to find. Like, I don't get it. As a producer, knowing the struggle that producers, like trying to get their beats, no, not trying to get their beats to the right people, but trying to make it so that whoever uses their beat can find them and pay them with their hold. That's what a lot of producers are putting right now. It's a couple of my favorite songs that had to be dropped out, but I substituted them with some songs that were like potential album songs. And I'm trying to get those. Now it's not happening to do the song again.
So there you go, man. You just heard it. Before I continue with this video, I do want to send a quick shout out to Mzansi A-listers. I did take this video from his channel, and shout out to him because me, I don't have the data to, stream and record that thing. But shout out to Mzansi A-listers. But yeah, man, let's continue with this video. So as you guys have heard, Nasty C basically mentioned 2 reasons why he's not dropping the mixtape. I mean, I was fine with the album dropping next year, but the mixtape was promised to drop this year, this month that we are in currently, August, bro. This month. Now it's apparently dropping next month, September, and who knows what's gonna happen in September, So he basically gave us 2 reasons as to why the mixtape will be dropping next month. So the first reason was the mixtape is being pushed back by the label. It was supposed to be in August. Now they kept on pushing it back, and then they said mid-September. Then the second reason he said the producers are hard to get hold of. So let's get into it, man. But before I get into it, I will talk about the theory that a lot of people have as to why Nasty C is taking so long to drop this mixtape. And I'm pretty sure you guys, some of you can actually guess it. But yeah, let me get into the first reason. So Nasty C basically came out to say the people at Def Jam are pushing the project back, Now, I'm not really sure why they're doing this as Def Jam. But my initial theory when I kept on realizing that Nasty C and Def Jam are pushing their album back was that maybe they are trying to, make a better rollout plan than Zulu Man with Some Power, because they have to outdo that rollout plan. That rollout plan was solid. There was merch, there was a podcast, there was like touring overseas, going to Japan, there was documentaries. Was there a documentary? I think there was a documentary. Yeah, that overseas, that Japanese documentary. There was a mixtape leading up to Zulu Man. There was a lot going on, So I do think they are trying to outdo that rollout plan. But I mean, now it's been a while. I think it's been about 2 years now since Zulu Man with Some Power came out. So I think in between that, they should have strategized a bit better and faster, But I do think if that's the case, then I can give them a bit of leeway, And I think that also they are trying to find a market for Nasty C at this point. They are trying to find a space where they can actually push Nasty C's music, because the landscape of music has changed drastically and so quick. Now with that being said, man, there was so much time to plan ahead, as to when the albums are gonna drop, because obviously they do have the behind the scenes. They can see where Nasty C is in terms of the amount of work he has for the album, what he has planned for the album, and himself, why is he announcing that the album will be dropping, And I know this is about the mixtape, but I'm trying to show you guys there's a pattern here, Why is he announcing an album knowing that he won't drop? Why is he announcing 2 mixtapes knowing that he won't drop? Because obviously, if you announce something, you have to be certain for a fact that, okay, now it's cool, the music has been submitted to the DSPs, now this is the date, Because obviously, Nasty C has a lot of, people that are interested. Whether he announces like a week before, 2 weeks before, people will still go out and listen to Nasty C. It's Nasty C, So in that, I do think that, they are being, really reckless in terms of people that are actually trying to listen to Nasty C's music. They are being reckless with the people's patience, and a lot of people are actually running out of patience, So I think on that front, they are not being considerate towards the fans, And then his second reason was he's struggling to get a hold of the producers that he's meeting online. Now, man, for the longest time, I've been wondering, why does he keep going that route? Because obviously he's had those troubles with the song Jungle before, the recent song was Can't Imagine, and this other song also with Flame, So obviously these online matchups are not really working out, in the sense that when it comes to contractual things, they tend to be a headache, So I don't understand why he keeps on opting for that option when he's actually a good producer himself, and he also has a lot of people around him that can actually make good beats. I do understand it's very convenient because you can actually go onto a certain website and just look up who's making dope beats. Not even look up, but just scroll there and see beats. Why would he put his fans through this just because of online producers? Why can't he just work with people around him, So I think in that way, man, Nasty, bro, you have to do better. And then, so before I get into the theory, I do want to point out that this has been consistent throughout Nasty C's career, There was a mixtape he was supposed to drop with Tellerman at some point. That also fell through, so I don't really understand what's that about. So, hey man, I guess it is what it is at this point. And then the theory that everyone is talking about, well, not everyone really, but some people have on the online streets. Some people think that Nasty C is actually pushing back a lot of his work because he's trying to drop the same day as A-reece, They're saying that they're trying to drop on October 21st. I think that's the date where he usually drops his projects. So I think a lot of people are saying, nah, he's just pushing back and it's just stalling until that actually happens, where they drop the same day. Now there has been a lot of rumors that A-reece might not be releasing that day. Instead, it might be Bella Salo or J Jody, or maybe both. So I don't know how that's gonna work. And a lot of people are using the reference of what happened in 2020 or 2020 actually, that Nasty C was pushing back his Zulu Man with some power because he thought A-reece was gonna drop around about the same time, but A-reece didn't drop. I remember the time when A-reece was making that snippet, or not really making that snippet, but dropped a short video clip where it seemed like he might be dropping very soon, and Nasty C thought he's gonna be dropping around that time, but that didn't happen, and Nasty C eventually dropped Zulu Man some power. So I do think there's a bit of validity to it. I mean, I don't think it's like a reach. There is, a certain behavior. There might be a bit of validity to it. And I don't know why Nasty C is gonna do this, bro, because if we're talking honestly, if we talk about bars, A-reece is gonna do a whole lot of, A-reece is gonna do a better job, and A-reece has been able to drop consistently meticulous albums. You understand? He has been able to drop a lot of good music. Now, he doesn't have the hits, doesn't have the numbers compared to Nasty C, but in terms of being consistent with good quality projects, he's been magnificent. So that will be an interesting one if that is the case, But either way, man, tell me what you guys feel about Nasty C, postponing the Iverson Army mixtape. And do you think that he might actually not even drop this mixtape the time he's supposed to drop it, and instead of dropping the mixtape, he might actually drop his album when A-reece drops, if A-reece drops that day? Interesting stuff, man. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. So, boy, I'm going again. Peace.